Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Final Trade. We're going to take our May look at Flesh and Blood sales data off of TCG Player. So I have the horizontal axis set to cover 2 months, April and May. And first off here, I have Welcome to Wraith Unlimited, Arcane Rising Unlimited, and Crucible of War Unlimited. And just to quickly address a couple of questions that I get from time to time, yes, I do include sales of sealed cases. And no, I do not cover first edition boxes of these first 3 expansions because the prices are too high. They don't sell very often, and so they really don't matter to the overall picture of how the long-term trends of Flesh and Blood sales on TCG Player are going. And so what we can see is the cumulative box sales over these 2 months, starting it out at 0 on April 1st and going through the end of May, the cumulative spend, and then the 7-day moving average of prices. Now, I will bring up the month-over-month table, and as always, I apologize, MATLAB does not allow you to resize these tables, so they will be small. What this shows is the April number of boxes sold, the May number of boxes sold, and the month-over-month percent change in number of boxes sold. Then the April average box sales price, May average box sales price, and the percent change in that, and then multiply them together to get revenue numbers in the same way. And so what we see is in late May, we got a bonus box sale. In fact, you can see this big jump here in Welcome to Wraith box sales at the end of May. That's from the bonus box sale. And it's reflected also here where it went from 62 boxes sold in April to 85 sold in May. So it increased 37% month over month, but a lot of that is demand pulled forward and probably a little bit of new organic demand stimulated by the lower prices. That's kind of interesting, but probably these products will give up a lot of that gain when it comes around time to do this for the June sales number. Now, what's more interesting to me is month-over-month price changes, and as long as we usually stay pretty flat or moving slightly upwards, that's what we like to see. So 1% positive price change in Welcome to Wraith month over month, negative 1% in Arcane Rising, and 3% upwards in Crucible of War. So next we'll move on to Monarch First Edition, Tales of Aria First Edition, and Everfest First Edition. Again, that horizontal axis is 2 months wide, and we can see a big jump in Everfest First Edition. A lot of boxes sold around that bonus buck sale, bringing up the month-over-month table to get the exact numbers. We see Everfest sold 138 boxes for the month compared to only 48 the previous month. So almost a 200% increase in sales month over month. Pretty interesting to see Tales of Aria actually go down in total number of boxes sold, even though there was a bonus box sale to stimulate demand. Now, minus 7% on Monarch First Edition and plus 7% in average box sales price for Tales of Aria First and Everfest First Edition. We'll do as always and take a little stop through History Pack Volume 1 and the month-over-month table. It sold 18 boxes in May compared to 14 the month before on TCG Player, and a 1% price drop. You know, I would have to check at which way it's rounding that to even say if there's anything interesting there. So moving on to Fab 2.0. No, this was not Fab 2.0, was it? So yeah, it was. This was the start of Fab 2.0, Uprising Dynasty and Outsiders. And we can see, again, these legs up here all on the same day of people coming into the market and buying when they can get that 15% cash back on the bonus buck sale. Bringing up the month-over-month table, and we see that month-over-month change. Very large, but again, stimulated demand from the sale, and I expect it to give most of that back. Price changes in the month, positive 3% for Uprising, minus 2 for Dynasty, and minus 3% for Outsiders. Again, those numbers are well within the range. I would say plus or minus 4 to 5%. I really just kind of chalk up to noise. Anything outside of that, we might start looking for reasons, or we might get a little bit interested. So now we'll bring up Dusk Till Dawn, Bright Lights, and Heavy Hitters. Again, big upwards jumps in total number of boxes sold on the day of the bonus buck sale. And the actual data, you can see very large. Heavy Hitters dropping, that's interesting. So you kind of expect it to fall off because Part the Mist Veil was released on the last day of May, May 31st. You would expect heavy hitters to kind of have a drop during the month, but for there to be a bonus buck sale right there near the end of the month, I'm surprised to see that overall the number of sales went down. So it's a long-winded way of saying that, and month-over-month price changes again within that plus or minus 4 to 5%, where I think it's just more or less noise. It'll probably give back most of that the next month. So what we'll look at now is part the mist veil, and we will use the other horizontal axis that I have here, days since release. And of course, like I said a moment ago, May 31st was the release day, and we have total number of boxes up to release day sold on TCG Player was 808 at a total price of $71,000. So we can compare this to, let's just throw up the previous three and we'll see how it did. So let's take a minute to kind of tease out what's going on here. This blue line is Part the Mist Veil, and what we've done is we've set the horizontal axis so that all of these products will line up their release day, which is 0 days since release. So this is lined up for each of these 4 products to look at how they all did at the same respective time in their life cycle. And so we see the yellow line of Bright Lights way down here on the cumulative spend plot. We see the blue line of Part the Mist Veil not quite reaching up to what heavy hitters of the red line and the purple line of Dusk Till Dawn had done. So still not getting back up to there, but at least recovering from what Bright Lights had done to the cumulative spend as of and through the day of release. So it's good to see that. Now it'll be interesting when we get these data finished for June to see what it looks like for Part the Mist Veil sales all the way through June being the first month of full release, and that it's a very clean month. Release was May 31st, and so all of June it will be in release. So I've been collecting these data for 29 months now. You can go back on the channel and find this video basically for every month since then, and I plan to keep doing it on into the future. I don't have any plans to stop it now, so if you enjoy this kind of deep dive into sales data off TCG Player, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and you'll get all the rest of my content too. Let me know what you think, everybody. Thanks to everyone who makes this content possible, especially my very generous supporters on Patreon. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and join me on Final Trade.